welcome to the Wrestling Goons Sideshow for July 26, 2014. I am Todd and Daniel hosting, and it's just a two-man show today. I got my boy Daniel Tanner here with me. What's up, Daniel?
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Nothing much on my end. Let's see, we had SmackDown last night, and I think the general consensus is WWE isn't even trying on SmackDown anymore. That's what it seems like to me. What did you think of the show in general, Dan?
Uh, it was just boring to me overall, like I normally say about SmackDown. I try my best to watch it, like, and be into it though, but it was like you can only do so much when you have like maybe four matches, and the main event of the match or the best match wasn't even all that great.
Yeah, I mean it was pretty much just a filler show to me. I mean, it's like they made the house show more or less is what it felt like. I mean, it's like they weren't even trying. Um, Starting off, we had the Usos beating Ryback, actually using the Twin Magic finish to get the win. I thought that was kind of a weak move for the tag champs for one to have to use it, and number two, like that's usually a heel move. So I thought that was kind of interesting. You have any thoughts on that?
Basically, I think they're now trying to bring up Ryback so a little bit, trying to put them in a feud with Usos. I think they might be done with the whole Wyatt and Usos feud, thank God. But I thought they had one more run though. But I'm beginning to like the Usos a lot more now. More and more they fight. But like I said, just another match that didn't excite me really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've been iffy back and forth on the Usos. Like, I think they definitely deserve to win the titles, but I don't know. It seems like they're like kind of a B plus player tag team for me. Like, until they can get like good promo skills, like it's hard for me to like really get behind them. Um, Rob Axel, I don't think they're too bad. I think the Wyatts probably deserve the feud over them, but I don't know. We'll see. Um, Next, we had Miz TV. I thought it was pretty entertaining. At least Miz was pretty entertaining. Talking to his mom in the front row, all that. That got a chuckle out of me. Um, his mom saying her favorite wrestler was Roman Reigns was pretty funny. Um, he got interrupted by Bo Dallas, and then Bo got interrupted by Dolph Ziggler, which led to the three of them, getting in a little argument, and Dolph going after them, and then Bo going after Dolph, which led into their match. And yeah, they put Bo over Dolph after the distraction from Miz. What did you think of this whole segment, Dan?
I agree with you with the entertainment part about the Miz. That was hilarious. Uh, I don't understand why they continue to shove Bo Dallas down a throat. I don't know what Dolph Ziggler did or who he screwed. Maybe he screwed Linda McMahon, but he shouldn't have never dropped to Bo Dallas. So I'm very disappointed in that. So yeah.
I agree with you on that, man. Like, like I thought Dolph getting screwed out of the title at Battleground, like I thought, and then him beating The Miz the next night on Raw, I thought he was about to get a little push. But for them to just put Bo Dallas over him, and now the rumor is there might be a triple threat between the three of them at SummerSlam, and with Bo on his undefeated streak, like that would probably mean they're going to put the IC title on Bo. And yeah, like I agree. I'm tired of getting Bo shoved down our throats. Like he's not getting over it with the crowd at all. Like he's over with Smarks, and that's about it. But yeah, I mean, it would be a damn shame for him to win the IC title at SummerSlam, no less.
Yeah, it'll be a great disappointment if they did let him win the title for whatever reason. It goes to show that if they let him win the Intercontinental title, then they have no respect for the title, or it's not as prestigious as it used to be back then. Because I don't think he deserves it. I don't think he's ready for it. So, hey, if you gotta let Miz hold the belt for a while, let him hold the belt, but don't give it to both.
Yeah, I agree. Like, Miz is a fine Intercontinental Champion, like, he is a former WWE Champion, and regardless of your thoughts on that, like, he is at least Intercontinental level, but I don't see Bo there. I don't see Bo at U.S. title level. I don't see him at tag title level. I don't see him at Divas Champion level. Honestly, like, I see Bo as an unsuccessful comedy gimmick and no more. But moving on, next match we had was probably match of the night. I'd say definitely match of the night in Ambrose versus Cesaro in a rematch from Raw, this time with no DQ. One issue I really have with the match, you have a no DQ match and then you end it with a roll up, which I thought was kind of weak. Although there were a few good spots. One that comes to mind is the deadlift superplex onto the chairs from Cesaro. What did you think of this match, Daniel?
The match itself was okay. It was probably the best match, but it wasn't the best match I've seen. But I think the match itself was great in a way because it kind of had that sort of that hardcore feel, and it's very rare that we see DQ matches like that, and how it took a turn. Also, too, it reminded me, like, why not WWE be a little bit more hardcore? Not necessarily bring back the hardcore division, but be a little bit, have more hardcore matches. I understand you may not want to see the blood or anything, but that match right there reminded me, like, hey, WWE needs to be a little bit more hardcore.
I agree. I think they could do with a little more hardcore. And I've seen a few people commenting online that they think they might be shifting away from the PvP and bringing it more back. Like they featured on Raw this week Jericho, the beatdown backstage, and had the blood coming from his ear and everything. They made sure to get a good shot of that, and that coupled with the Brie Bella Stephanie segment with her calling Stephanie a bitch a couple times. It's I wouldn't say it's quite PG anymore.
Yeah. I mean, you still don't have our blood, but I mean, I'm okay with that. They can just, take it up a couple of notches, but we'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah. After the match, predictable. Of course, Rollins comes down for the beatdown on Bean. Nothing to really say about that. After that, we had Paige versus Naomi, and I actually liked Paige's little promo at the beginning. Like, I'm glad they're starting to develop her character. It seems to be she's gonna, be telling everybody, "Oh, I'm your friend. I respect you. I like you." And then as soon as she gets the chance, she's gonna blindside and backstab somebody. This week it was Cameron's music hitting, which caused Naomi to get distracted. And as soon as Naomi was distracted, Paige comes up, hits the cheap shot, rampage, and submission for the win. That led Cameron to come down to the ring and her to beat down Naomi again. I am glad that they are still running that feud, Cameron and Naomi. They have been tagging together for a few years, so I think they deserve a SummerSlam match. Like, I really think they do. And I'm glad that they're telling more than one Diva story at a time. What do you think?
I agree that, it's good that they're telling more than one Diva story at a time. I think one Divas match at SummerSlam is enough, unless they wanted to try to put it at the pre-show. I just think this storyline or what's going on between Naomi and Cameron is just for Cameron's benefit. At the same time, I think that Naomi is just falling off in the contention of being a Diva champion because if it didn't happen around WrestleMania time, it's probably not going to happen anytime soon for a long time. But Paige, I like her heel, uh, the way she's going about it too. I'm looking forward to the match between AJ and Paige. I'm not sure if they made it official yet, but if they do, I'll definitely tune in for that.
Yeah, I think we are heading for another pre-show match with Cameron and Naomi, which yeah, I don't have a problem with. It is SummerSlam, so I'd imagine they'll try to fit as many matches on the card as possible. Um, but on SmackDown, that leads us to our main event: Roman Reigns defeating Alberto Del Rio. Um, a lot of people like this match as far as Roman's work in the ring. Um, the one thing that stood out to me is, after booking Del Rio so weak, over the last half a year, something like that, all of a sudden he's supposed to be like this big threat to the alpha male of WWE and was booked super strong after, getting shown up in the title Battle Royal last week at Battleground. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
I didn't care about the match too much though, but you are right about Del Rio. I've always said that Del Rio can still always be that top three guy. Either you put him in a heel role, he'll be a top three heel. If you put him in a face, he'll be a top three face. I like Del Rio. I guess this is one of those things where you got to try to convince us that Roman Reigns is the guy. So what do? You put Del Rio against him to convince us. I still think he has a long way to go to be that top guy. But, anything can change between now and then.
Yeah, I agree. In the ring, he's one of the very best in the world. Like, he's awesome. Um, I know me and Anthony have said many times, like, we don't know why he hasn't got over more over the years. I mean, he has all the tools to be a top level heel, but he just hasn't done it. I think a lot of that is WWE's marketing of him. But yeah, that wraps it up for SmackDown. A really lackluster show. If you missed it, you didn't really miss anything. I'm sure, anything of importance that's going to play a role in the future, we'll see in a replay on Raw next week anyway. The biggest story I saw come out of this week was Daniel Bryan having his house burglarized and him pulling up to it as it's in progress. He chases one of the burglars off, catches the other burglar, and holds him in a rear naked choke for 5 minutes until police arrive and arrest the dude. I mean, you can't write a better story. It's a shame that Daniel Bryan isn't still there and isn't still champion because, I mean, the story writes itself right there. What do you think?
And they say wrestling is fake. I like the story. It's great. Personally, I probably wouldn't have done it because no telling if they had any guns or anything on them though. But it's something good to write about, or like hey, I took out a couple of burglars or whatever, and yeah, it's a good story overall. It makes him relevant, saying that he's out for a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad for a dude coming off neck surgery and with 50% strength in his right arm. Yeah, like you said, I mean, it's pretty dangerous to run up on a burglar like that. You don't know if they got a gun or what. So, kudos to Daniel Bryan protecting his house and his wife.
Yeah, he
and
was
his
with him.
dog. Yeah, Bree was with him. Bree's the one that called the cops, I believe. Another big story I saw come out this week, very interesting to see what's going to happen with Rey Mysterio. As everybody probably heard, when his contract had run out a few months ago, Vince McMahon enacted a little known clause in WWE contracts that if you miss time during your contract and you're still being paid your guarantee, that apparently, whether you want it or not, Vince has the option to renew your contract for a year without your consent. I know this contract clause had come up a month or two ago in reference to CM Punk. That's where we had first heard it. But the big story is that Ray didn't want his contract renewed, has stopped cashing WWE checks, and according to Dave Meltzer, may be pursuing legal action against WWE. That's pretty interesting to me to see how it's going to turn out. I can't think of the last time a talent has gone after WWE in the court system. What about you? You think of anything recent like that, Dan?
Nothing recent. All I can think of is probably going to turn out bad. Um, First of all, I don't know why he stopped cashing those checks. I can imagine how much money is he's not cashing in. Um, it's kind of sucks at the same time too. But I understand for both sides because Rey Mysterio has been out for like all of maybe 19 months prior.
Right.
Like I think within the last 3 years.
Right.
So I can understand from a WWE perspective and his perspective. Like, hey, let me know what you guys want to do. Don't extend my contract without me knowing or whatever. At least let me negotiate something. But also too, I wonder if he's going to retire or what else is he going to do? Because like, if you don't want to come back to WWE, what are you going to do now?
Yeah, I mean, at this point in his career, like, anytime he comes back, he's back for a month or two and he gets hurt. So, I mean, I think the best thing that they can do with him and the best thing he can do for himself is to stay on in an ambassador type role, in the Latin American markets, Spanish speaking markets. Like, Rey Mysterio is still a huge name in Mexico. He can promote WWE there. You can always trot him out on Raw and hit a 619 on somebody without him taking all these big bumps. I remember his last match was the night after WrestleMania against Barrett, and he was getting manhandled. And sure enough, he hurt his hand and has been out ever since. 4 months now, almost. So, yeah.
I really don't understand why they even let him.
What were you saying?
I was saying like I don't really understand why they even like continue to like have him around, actively like that because he's really haven't gotten a push or he hasn't been that relevant since probably when he won the title some years ago. But then it's like, why do you have Rey Mysterio around if you're not going to really use him? I mean, outside of you might want to get the Mexican audience or viewers or something, but I don't know why they even continue on having him around.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he hasn't been relevant in a little while now, I'd say. Another thing to come out this week was the hashtag WWE Transformed trend on Twitter, which, they sent out a couple cryptic tweets and pictures making it look like they may be debuting a new star. I know Seth Callahan's name was out there. Sting's name was out there. It could have been a whole bunch of different possibilities. It ends up being something to do with a new kids app for WWE, some cartoon thing. Complete fans' time and getting their hopes up for nothing. What did you think of this whole fiasco?
It was stupid. It was dumb. It was retarded. I don't understand why you guys get us all hyped up for nothing. With all these rumors, like it could be the new logo, it could be part of the new belt or something. Who knows? And then you guys troll us with these cartoon animated characters. We don't care about that. Y'all could have saved that for something else. Y'all didn't have to like put it on Twitter or anything like that to get us all hyped up. It was a waste of our time, really.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's a total waste of time. Um, yeah, I mean, overall, it's a pretty slow news week for WWE. One of the only other things that I saw this week that interests me was Sting making his first official WWE appearance at the Comic Con with Hogan, Daniel Bryan, Paul Heyman, and Michael Cole. He came out to a huge pop. He said it's his goal to work one more match, and he wants it to be in WWE. He'd like Undertaker, but he has said at this point that he understands if Taker can't go, then he just wants it to be against somebody in WWE. I'm all for it. Man, he is 55 years old, I believe, but it's Sting. Like he's earned it. He definitely deserves a swan song in WWE at WrestleMania if that's what he wants. What do you think, man?
I'm a big time Sting fan, one of my all time favorites. It was great seeing him in a WWE event. It's cool seeing him have his own WWE official Sting figure, as me being a collector myself. Um, the whole Undertaker thing, I kind of almost understand why, but if this happened like 5 years ago, it'd been a great idea. But now it's like, I don't think it'd be a good idea. Of course, because of Taker's health, but I don't want him to be in just any old match. It has to make sense. It has to be something that where he feels important. If it's going to be his last match, I feel like they could use him in the Royal Rumble, be a guest spot in the Royal Rumble. Create some type of storyline where he might face off against someone like, let's say, Triple H. Hopefully, Triple H will drop to him. But then again, you never know. But at the end of the day, I hope he gets a win in his final match.
Yeah, I could get behind a Royal Rumble spot, and I could get behind a Triple H match at WrestleMania. Like if if he doesn't work against Sting, then Triple H will probably be working with one of the young guys or one of the up and coming guys, which you know I don't really care to see all that much. Um, yeah, I'd like to see him put Sting over. Um, like Triple H has been in a fairly giving mood these days. It seems as far as giving other people shine. So yeah, I'd be all for it.
Yeah. Well, we just gotta wait and see. I mean, they're making Sting be a part of a lot of stuff in the video games, some merchandise, and all that. So we'll know for certain if he's gonna be a part of something around maybe Royal Rumble time.
What would you think if they put him in like the Raw GM role?
Um, I wouldn't mind that. That's more TV time for him. I don't know how they'll set it up, but I wouldn't mind it at all. I think he'll be cool for it.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him like going against Triple H, or like if he wins, he gets to be Raw GM. Like I think that would be a good story for their match. It's good enough. Like they could play off their careers in WCW, the Monday Night Wars. They could play off all that. But I think Sting would make a pretty good GM. You could have him in the face paint and have him with his back for to reinforce what he's saying to make sure people listen to him, to bring his bat out and say, well, it's my way or the highway, I guess.
It would
Yeah, I
definitely.
mean, I'd be all for Sting, Pro Sting being out there, not Surfer Sting, not TNA Sting either.
I want to see Surface Thing just one last time. Just one last time. I just want to see that. I know he
I
probably
don't know
doesn't
if he's
have the
got
hair
enough hair
for it.
left. It's like,
Just one last time. Surface Thing, colorful paint, the tights, the jacket, dye your hair blonde or something. If they have to rid him or whatever on it, I don't mind. I just want to see it.
yeah. I could see somebody actually, yeah, I could honestly see the Miz coming out and doing the Surfer Sting gimmick one night. Um, I don't know. Like I know they did it with Mr. Anderson in TNA a few years ago, and I don't know if you ever saw it, but it looked exactly like Surfer Sting. It was pretty funny.
They had that on TNA.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I gotta go
Back when
back.
he started doing the Joker Sting gimmick, I believe, like 2009 maybe, something like that. I don't know. I've just seen it on YouTube, but yeah, he's sitting there dressed up like Sting, and he looks spitting image. Like if you saw it just at a glance, you would say, "Oh, well, that's Sting. Like he's dressed up like old days."
Oh, I definitely gotta go back and see that on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll send you the link if you want.
Cool.
But yeah, man. Is there anything else this week that caught your eye in the
Um, I think that's newsworthy, I guess you could say. Other than my rant and rave about I still don't like this Goldust segment that they're doing. It pisses me off just to
yeah,
see them doing that nonsense. I'm gonna have probably save my more of my new Nation of Domination 2.0 for Monday. See how that goes. I know they weren't on there on SmackDown yesterday. From what I hear, there's a new tournament, or there's a tournament going on in Japan, G1. Hopefully, we'll give the listeners more details about that. Um, Also, there's a rumor that Tajiri is with TNA and supposed to be partnering up with Muta for, I guess, a feud against Tommy Dreamer and someone else for Battle for Glory in Japan in October. You probably won't see them. And other than that, that's about it.
yeah. I think the match will probably get some hype, from different people. The only problem I got with it is you're featuring all these non TNA performers in a premium spot on TNA's biggest show of the year. So, like, if they get themselves over in that match, like, what's it gonna do for TNA? Like, they're not gonna be there next Thursday on Impact after their match. So, I don't know. It's TNA has so many problems that I mean we could sit here for a week and talk about TNA's problems to me.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean that's all I got for the week, man.
yeah. So it's something to look forward to. Battle for Glory in Japan.
So yeah, I think we got what 3 more Raws till SummerSlam.
Yeah, 3 more Raws
Yeah,
until they try to build up a great pay-per-view.
yeah. The plan is, from what I read, Cena will be here Monday, but no Lesnar. Then next Monday, or Monday after that, it'll be Lesnar and no Cena. Then the last Raw before SummerSlam will be their one face to face before their actual match. So
I
they're
think
kind of
that's
going
uh,
minimal build up with that. I don't know how that's going to build up to their main event, but we shall see.
I think that's really weak. That
Yeah,
the Monday night before the pay-per-view, they have that face-off. No real in-your-face promo while they're in the building or anything like that. So I think it's just weak. Again, we should expect Lesnar to win, but you never know with this WWE company.
yeah. I'm hoping Lesnar wins just to take things up a little bit, but then again, with him not being full time, who knows? But yeah, man. Anything else that you had on the week?
No, that's it. But I do want to mention the Twitter. Uh, Follow us on Twitter at Goons Radio.
That's
Uh,
right.
yeah, and like us our page at Wrestling Goons Radio on Facebook. And pretty
Yep.
soon our
On
YouTube.
social media.
Yeah,
Again, that's good. Huh?
pretty soon our
What's that?
YouTube should be up.
Yes, the Wrestling Goons Radio YouTube channel will be up. But in the meantime, yeah, follow us at Goons Radio on Twitter and Wrestling Goons Radio on Facebook. Um, But yeah, we will be back Monday night for the Raw post show. And until then, this is Todd Ditzel, Daniel Tanner signing out, and we will see you Monday.